day. Many of them were against Islam. And they heard a hearing, and what did they do? They took Shahada and became awake to Islam, not converted. So we have a lot to do in this community, and I guess I got way off the notes, but mashallah, and we know that humanity is in loss. That's one thing I wanted to mention. Surah Al-Asr. Wal-Asr. Inna insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amanu salihat wa tawassaw bil haqq wa tawassaw bis sabr. Now, oftentimes you read Yusuf Ali's translation. Learn the Arabic for yourself, because Asr, the first ayat that's talking about Asr, is not talking about by the token of time. That's a translation. In our English here in America, that really don't always make sense to the common person. But the Arabic of the Quran is different than the spoken Arabic or the colloquial, the conversational Arabic. The Quranic Arabic has a message. When we recite Wal Asr, it's talking about as the day declines. After it goes from its peak and it's declining, as the day declines. You hear people nowadays, everybody said at the end of the day, which they kind of wore that statement out, but at the end of the day, this, at the end. But that's the same thing they're saying. Wal Asr, as the day is declining, humanity is in loss, except those who are giving themselves over to patience, good deeds, righteousness. Look at the words in there. These are the things these are the things, and that doesn't disturb us. Let me say this, because I see people looking back. If a child is crying, mashallah, that's what a child is supposed to do. You know, it's okay. But when we think of that surah, Wal Asr, Inna insana lafi khusr, as the day is declining, humanity is in loss. Not man, but humanity is in loss, except those who give themselves over to righteous deeds, patience, constancy, and working together. Filimanillah, keep the faith. That's what we're about. That's why we don't give in to fear and grief, because we keep the faith. Things get tough, we keep the faith. You don't get that business deal, keep the faith. You having problems with your children, keep the faith. The whole idea of Islam is to bring out the best in us, and for us as a ummah to bring out the best in whatever country we're in. That is Islam. That's what Allah, that's the true education in Islam, is to bring out that which Allah has already ordained for us. One of the articles of faith is Qadr, the destiny. Now, I'm not going to get too heavy in that because there's a whole lot to talk about with the destiny, but one aspect of destiny is to learn about you and find out what it is to help you connect the dots on where you're going in life. It would be cruel of Allah to bring us in this life and not give us a roadmap. That would be cruel. Because that's why some people do become atheists. They say, look, I'm catching all the tail. Where is God? He's always near. He tells in the Quran, I'm always near. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the believers, they went through a period where they said, when will come the help of Allah? They got destroyed because we're human beings. But what keeps us strong is a good community life. We've seen people stray away from good community life and lead their families astray. Muslims I'm talking about. Lead their families astray, and then they want to know, why did my son do this, or why did my daughter do that, or what is it that caused them to go a certain way? Well, maybe sometimes we have to look at the adults. We have to look at ourselves. How do we raise our children? Are we spending time with our grandchildren? When we spend time with our young ones, whether the mother's around or not, I'm talking to the men right now on that, still makes a lot to call the children in. You'd be surprised. They won't have no problem with that. When it's time for salat, don't, and here's another thing. I had an Arabic teacher who was a hafiz. He went to a certain country I'm not going to mention, and he studied Arabic. He said they used to beat us terribly in that country to learn, to become a hafiz. I don't think the Prophet ﷺ would have ever did that. Allah tells us in the Quran not to be harsh-hearted towards others. They will flee from you. The brother, he became a hafiz, really good on his Arabic, everything. But he said that what he remembered more was getting beat by his teacher. La ikrah fi din, no compulsion in Islam. No compulsion in this way of life. That's how we should live it. We should live it with no compulsion, trying to force everybody to become Muslim. Allah tells us in the Quran, He makes Muslims. Allah makes Muslims, we don't. All we do is plant a seed. We're farmers. We plant a seed, we do the sowing, Allah does the growing. That's what we do. We plant the seeds, Allah calls us who He wants to be Muslim. He tells us in the Quran, He calls us. He awakens us to Islam. I did have an ayat, Surah 8, I think it's ayat 64 I wanted to use, where Allah says He gave us this as life. He brought us to this life. So when we think about coming to life and living Islam, enjoy life. That's what it's also, Allah wants us to enjoy life. He doesn't want us to be sad. When you find Muslims who are always uptight, angry looking, talk to that brother or sister and see what it is that's bothering them. We heard of a young sister early this year who committed suicide. If I'm not mistaken, it was in this area. We should reach out to brothers and sisters to see what we can do to help them, because people are struggling. They're struggling with their soul. And I don't mean just people in general. I'm talking about Muslims, particularly to us, because we don't seem to reach out. We like to do, no disrespect, but we like to do a lot of kumbaya today. We want to invite the non-Muslim. Everybody want to do huggy face, kissy face. We should do that. But then we come to each other, we harsh to each other. Brother, did you come to Fajr this morning? None of your business, really. That's like what you really want to say, but you don't want to be mean-spirited. But don't go harassing each other. This is a beautiful way of life. We should enjoy, we should thank Allah that He made us an ummah. Thank Allah, and like I said, meet another brother today. Make it a habit. When you come to Jumah, sisters, meet another sister. Don't just hang as if we're a bunch of cliques. Only deal with your brother and sister who you know. No, reach out and get to know each other. Allah tells us in Surah 49, inshallah, He tells us that He made us nations and tribes and different, that we may get to know one another, not despise one another. That's all of humanity, though. Not to despise one another, but get to know each other. That's what Islam is. This is, I tell you, man, I can't say it enough. This is a wonderful way of life. This is a fantastic way of life. I don't care what the media says. Well, the Muslim, this guy did this or that. The person, Imam Muhammad made a note at Georgetown University years ago, about 11 years ago. They were asking him, he was on stage with some other dignitaries. And I'm not deifying him. He was my Imam. Just like some of you got your sheikhs in your country. But Imam Muhammad told the people, I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it down in his notes, but I love what he said. They asked him about Osama bin Laden and some of these other people. The Imam said they're not acting in accordance with Islam. They're acting out of hurt because of what was done to them in their country. Now, we can relate to that. Those of us who are African American, we can relate to that. Our Christian brothers and sisters who are African American can relate to it. Coming out of slavery. Coming out of slavery, we know what it was like. Those of us who were around in the 60s, we know what it was like. We saw the riots in this city. We saw the riots in a lot of cities. We weren't acting out of religious dogma or anything. We were acting because we were hurt. And even today, with the Black Lives Matter movement, that's not a movement based on religion, no more than some of these guys who say they're Muslim going out doing some atrocities. Back in the, I think the 80s, there was a guy named George Abdullah who went and committed an atrocity, I think it was in Germany. Because his name was Abdullah, they say he's Muslim. And he wasn't, he was a Lebanese Christian. Just like he has the name Abdullah, just like we have the name Smith, and can be Muslim. We have to look at the religion and teach our children, this is not the, if they say this is a Muslim who did this atrocity on television, let our children know that that person is not acting in accordance with Islam. They have gotten away from Islam. And these people who recruit for terrorism, and they call themselves martyrs, no, they're murderers. That's what they are. They're not martyrs, they're murderers. If they're bringing other people to do suicide bombing and things like that, they're not acting in accordance with Islam. They're mujrimun. Allah speaks to the mujrimun in the Quran. They're criminals. Those are criminal activities. Those are sacrilegious activities. Those are not religious activities. What they are doing is haram. That's what that is. The group that calls themselves haram, who kidnapped them little sisters, and tell me they're going to help them with their Islam and get them married. Married to what, a bunch of old dudes? That's what they did. It's just another form of trafficking, sex trafficking. Call it what you want, that's what it was. There was a sheikh who came to, I ain't gonna call his name, but I want to talk about the actions, not the personality. A sheikh came to the Wilson Center here in Washington, D.C. And all these people, mostly non-Muslim, they were edifying this guy. He went to try to defend what Boko Haram did. Boko Haram. He said they started off on a good foot, they started off righteous. And I wanted to, say, hey, hold, let me ask you something. I don't care how they started, it's what they're doing now, man. So we didn't have enough time to engage him, but I wanted to engage him in front of the people. Don't be afraid to have courage to stand up for Islam, even if it's against yourself. That's what Allah tells us. Stand up for it, even if it's against a sheikh. He's a sheikh or ulama, alhamdulillah, we respect the scholars, but don't let them just pull the wool over our eyes. Just because the guy says they start off righteously, well, they're going wrong now. They're on the wrong foot right now. These groups are desecrating Islam. And we should not just sit back. And I want to say this, I was going to save it for an announcement, but any of you who knows someone or yourself that's in school for journalism or media, we can use your help. In fact, you can get with me afterwards. Or if you know anyone who's in that, because we need to start doing more writing. This is how the Quran started. Iqra, bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. This is how it started. Even in the Bible, the Christian Bible said that their scripture began with the word. Words make people. They say sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt. Nah, that's not true. Words are damaging. That's why we have people with verbal abuse going on. We got a guy now in power that's all he likes is verbal abuse. That's what he uses to tear people down. He loves verbal abuse, and I'm not mentioning his name, but we know who we're talking about. Brothers and sisters, our community life is very important. We have to be patient with one another, because if we don't learn patience, we could become a patient. Stress will kill us. That's important that we do the best job we can to be unified. One thing that I love about this community, other than the fact that I grew up here, when I see Imam Yusuf Salim doing Jumah, and I got to get ready to wrap up, doing Jumah last week, and he was once the Imam here for 20 years. Please move up, brothers. Tighten the ranks. The Prophet ﷺ always told us to tighten the ranks at Jumah, but when you get on Hajj, you won't have no room. So tighten it now. Get used to it. So, shukran. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close out this first half. And brothers and sisters, I apologize I didn't get through all the notes, but mashallah, everything is mashallah. Allah is always in control. And we do the best we can. I do have some other announcements to make later. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار التحيات لله والصلوات والطيبات السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا عباد الصالحين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. As I wrap up, I'd like to make a dua that I really had intention of making. I learned this dua when I was 22 years old, studying under the leadership of the Imam. He passed away, Imam Khalil Abdel-Alim. Many of you know him. May Allah have mercy and grant him paradise. Oh Allah, remove from me my personal motives, and I want to share with you all so that you will learn. Oh Allah, remove from me my personal motives and desire. Fill me with your will for this world and for your people. So when they hear me, they don't hear me, they hear you. Ameen. That's the dua we should make anytime we speak it. And particularly on Allah's book, so that Allah will protect us from ourselves. Not to be selfish. Not to be self-centered. And another beautiful thing about this community, I look at all of you, and I see so many of you. I see a brother who's a good friend of mine from Tunisia. I got to know a lot of brothers and sisters from other countries. That's the beauty of having a community. This is your community, brothers and sisters. You want to invest in it? And then, as I wrap up, invest today. We are in the process of expanding Masjid Muhammad to the left right now. Some of you don't know we already own one house over here. We own the one next door. We own the building down the street. I see another good friend of mine from Turkey, who's the architect, working with us. And in fact, I see quite a few of you that's from other countries working with all of us. Now, we are one ummah, a beautiful ummah. This is our responsibility to deliver. So after Jumah, please go downstairs to the zakat window, and not only pay zakat and sadaqah, but also on the receipt, put some money in to expand the masjid. You want to make a real investment, and I don't mean Wall Street. The real investment, the Prophet ﷺ said, to build a masjid in this life, he'll build a mansion for us in the afterlife. So we already had the masjid, but still add on. You'll still get the reward, the same reward. It is fascinating to see some of the people, and if I may put one brother on the spot, who gave the adhan. He's been here since he was a little boy. He's seen this building being built. Do you all know that the pioneers told us these bricks were special bricks? Back in this, I think 1959, when they were first built, people, they had to guard this hole in the ground here and the bricks because people were trying to steal the bricks. The vanguard of Islam, the pioneers of Islam, had to guard this building and protect it. That now we sit here and we're just as comfortable as we can be. But it's time for us to move forward, to expand Masjid Muhammad, to look after one another. And with all the shootings and things going on in different religious institutions, even though we have some security, you all won't know, but we got some security here too. There are some among us that work in law enforcement. But it's also an obligation on every man here. We used to have the fruit of Islam here one time, and we steal the fruit of Islam. And we're ripe for the picking. We're righteous fruit. We're not a bunch of rotten fruits. So I'd like to encourage you all to meet with our security team. Come past the masjid for your salat. That's also security. Come past, we have 5 daily prayers. This masjid is open 5 times a day. A lot of cities don't have that. They have to call the place a sinners because it's not always open. This masjid is open. It was built on taqwa, God consciousness, righteousness, thinking, rightful thinking. It was built on taqwa, not built on chaos or impiety. That's the reason why we're still here. Thank Allah that we're here, work together with each other, and I definitely got to close out now because I've gone 9 minutes over because I was timing myself today. So with that, I'd like to tell you all, get to know one another, let each other know you love each other, spend time with each other. And some of you brothers who think you can shoot pool, I challenge you. Let's get together sometime and go out and shoot pool. Because I can't get guys to shoot pool with me. I mean, I know I'm getting a little personal, but I want some of you to come out, hang out with some of us. My brother from Kansas City is here. When he comes in, we can all get together. We go out. We don't always have to, come to the prayer. That's what we do. And then we go out and have a good time with our children, our grandchildren, our loved ones. And I'm going to say this. You all missed something years ago when Muhammad Ali was living. There was a movie came out about when we were kings. We got 250 believers from this masjid and went and rented the whole theater. They had 300 seats. We took 250 of them. And we all watched the movie together, bought popcorn. We all commuted together to the theater. Spur the moment. We didn't plan it, outright plan it. We just got everybody together, spread the word, and we went out and had a good time. So brothers and sisters, please help the masjid. I can't stress that enough. Security is most important. Also, please go downstairs and pay the zakat, as well as put some money up for the expansion of the masjid. So that when we do expand, because inshallah, we're going to expand, you can also say, I contributed to that. Akim as-salat.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salah, hayya ala falah. Qad qamat as-salat, qad qamat as-salat. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Oh, okay. That's good. Let me know when you're ready in the back. And this is another reason why we need to expand the masjid. We're really getting tight. It's kind of crowded now. Alhamdulillah. Kevin. I don't know who's in the back. I see brothers still trying to line up. Are we ready? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. الله أكبر. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يقولون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة.
تكبير.
الله أكبر.
تكبير.
الله أكبر.
تكبير.
الله أكبر. Alhamdulillah. And I stick to the notes though. Yeah.
When I hear Allah, I think about us in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Man, that was that morning we were staying there. And all of them got.
And you remember we went to the open, huh? Oh, I think, yeah, Lyndon right there. I figured after I saw him, I figured let him win. Sorry.
I thought you were doing.
But he gave it to me. But that's how you always beat it.
You know how things.
It's my first football years. And you serve nothing. You always read it now.
Assalamu alaikum. We appreciate that excellent khutbah by our brother Imam Benjamin Abdul Haqq. And we only have a few announcements. We're not going to hold you much longer. Please don't forget to, he mentioned it several times, leave something for the sadaqah and the zakat. Okay, on Monday, November the 19th, at the home of Dr. Maqsood and Mrs. Nadir Chaudhry of McLean, Virginia, there's going to be a halal dinner served at this project, Rosanna. You can see it on the back of the bulletin. It's free admission. And the purpose of this is if we save one life, we save the world, building bridges of peace through health care. So it's a lot of sponsors on here, including Adams Center, Masjid Muhammad, and a whole lot of other organizations. So please try to support that event. Tomorrow, MAVA, the Muslim American Veterans Association, is having its annual Veterans Day dinner. So all veterans and seniors will be served free, and those who are not veterans, we would like you to give a donation, but everyone is welcome. And that's at 6 p.m. tomorrow. And Sheikh Nazim, you all know he passed away a few months ago. They're going to actually bury him at Quantico Cemetery on Tuesday, November the 13th, I believe from 12 to 1 at Quantico. Everyone is welcome to attend that.
We need to interrupt. My apologies.
Yeah.
There was a note.
Hold on.
My apologies. We're going to have a janazah b'ghayb for a brother, Jabril Turner, 22 years old, former student of Claire Muhammad School. So for those of you still here, please join us for janazah. We need to do that now. I was told to do that right after Jumah, but I thought these were announcements. They gave me 2 pages. So we can go ahead and line up for the janazah. I know the Imam did during 7. That was Eid. What did the Imam say about the 4? Yeah. No, I was thinking about Eid. Oh, no. Okay, yeah. I'm rushing, man. I'm speeding. They gave me 2 sheets of paper. That's why I thought those were the announcements. Yeah. You don't need to. We're not making a prostration, so just go ahead and line up, keep it tight, and fill in the empty space in between in the line. Some brothers, step forward. Step forward. You're right here. Yeah. Oh, I didn't see him. A brother named hold on. He used to be a student at Claire Muhammad School. Jabril Turner. His janazah is actually today out in Maryland at another masjid. But he used to be a student in our school. He passed at 22. I don't know what happened because I just got that. I got the announcement on my email, but I just got this just now. So I don't know no more than what I just told you. So. I will be there. Make your intentions. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. With that completes the janazah. And just for those who don't know, you don't always have to do salam and right and left. You can just do one. There's a hadith with the Prophet ﷺ covered both. So, all right, you want to finish?
Please keep Imam Kashif in your du'as, and if you do have time, You can visit him at Bridgepoint Hospital, 223 7th Street Northeast, Washington, D.C. He's in room 6139. And also keep in your prayers and du'as all our sick and shut in. And don't forget to get your Muslim journal and support the Muslim journals and your time to be grateful in Houston, December the 14th through the 16th. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.